Hey everyone! So in today's video, I'm going to be recapping week number 3 of the Yes Theory Bootcamp. So week 3 ended up having one of the videos canceled. Thus, the only video we ended up having was how to select an idea. But this video was jam-packed full of information, and honestly, I felt quite targeted by the video. So, as always, I wanted to start off by sharing some of my favorite quotes that were made during this week's bootcamp. The first one being, if it makes you happy, it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. Now, this also goes back to the previous weeks where it's like, don't make a video the way you think is successful. Make a video the way you want to make a video. If it makes you happy, it doesn't need to make sense to anybody else. Be yourself. Be you. Now, the second one is, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. And that is a quote by Henry Ford. This quote is meant to be actually about a trap that a lot of YouTubers face when they first start out, myself included. We often ask our subscribers and the audience, what would you like to see? And that kind of limits us in our own way of being genuine and being ourselves, because back then, like Henry Ford says, people would have simply said faster horses. At the time, no one would have thought about a vehicle. You don't know what you don't know. So it's important to stay true to yourself and genuine. And the last one is basically to hide the vegetables. Now, this is basically how you have to kind of put some stuff in the video, but you don't want it to be straightforward in the thumbnail or the title. You want to surprise people with a nice, pleasant part in your video. You don't want to just give it to them right away at the very beginning in the title or the thumbnail. You want to have that little bit of mystery and a pleasant surprise. Now, a big factor this week was again how we are our harshest critics. Now, by being our harshest critics, that actually builds up more confidence. And it helps actually guarantee what we believe is the best of the best, because we are actively judging ourselves. We are thinking, what would our worst critic say? What is the worst review we could get on this video? And it's also important to note that by doing this, you could take a moment before putting anything you created out into the world and just simply think, are you happy with it? If you answer yes and you click submit, then at the end of the day, if someone posts a comment that's just absolutely talking bad about you, bad about your video, bad about your channel, at the end of the day, you know that you tried your best and you were happy with that video. And that's what truly matters, is just continuing to be your genuine, true self. And as you do that, people who are similar to your personality will find you and start to follow you. Now, this week specifically, I felt like I was being called out big time. A lot of the things that Thomas was saying it was like he was talking to me specifically. It really did feel like he was just straight up calling me out, and that is a very good thing. For example, you don't experiment enough. You feel like you're trapped in a niche. And for me, that's mainly travel. So I've been posting a lot of travel videos, but I haven't been pushing my creative boundaries, my artistic boundaries. I should be striving and challenging myself to create newer, better content, because I can tell you right now that the videos I have made, I definitely have some favorites, and I need to go back and watch those and be like, okay, why are they my favorite? I need to experiment so I can learn information like that. Along with this, you end up choosing ideas to copy your heroes and then struggle with branching out on your own. This was one that I didn't necessarily feel like is something I do a lot, but I do understand where it's coming from because, for example, Yes Theory is a big uh, influence on me. Hence, my book being dedicated to the Yes fam. But you also need to, and it's okay, starting off, you can copy. Okay, they went skydiving and brought strangers skydiving on the spot. Like, you could kind of copy their ideas to get started, but it's very, very, very important that at some point you add your own personality, your own uniqueness. And it's like I said previously with Mr. Beast as well. People just copy him all the time. If you watch what everybody else is watching, you'll only make what everybody else is making. You want to be yourself and genuine and authentic and find your own little twist on the videos that you're creating. The third one is that you don't think about potential titles or thumbnails prior to committing to an idea. This is a really, really big one for me because, quite honestly, yeah, I don't think I have ever thought of a thumbnail or a title prior to going and doing something. That is always something that I've tried to do after the fact, when in reality, you should have a couple different titles and thumbnails prior to really finishing the filming and everything. You don't spend enough time on thumbnails, you just slap it together before posting. Fits right into this. Because at the end of the day, when the video is done, I have filmed it, I have done the editing. That is pretty much more or less exactly what I do, is I just try to look at some of my old thumbnails so they're somewhat similar, and that way people that have followed my channel, they can find it quickly. It stands out to them because they already know what to look for. Even subconsciously, they've seen my thumbnail before. But slapping a thumbnail together, there's a lot of problems with that, and we'll actually discuss that a little further into this video. So another aspect is that we wear 3 different hats. I'm a director, a producer, and a distributor. Starting off, when you're small, you can't hire someone to fill in one of these roles. So you are all 3, and it's very, very important that you don't let one hat interfere with another hat, that you strictly focus. So for example, being a director, you initially started the channel for yourself, so don't work for others. Stay true to your values as much as possible. If someone comes up to you and is offering to pay you money for, say, an advertisement, for example, but their business is strongly against some of the values you hold, maybe it's not the best decision to do business with them. But if you have a business where most of their values line up with yours, maybe there's 1 or 2 things you don't agree on, you can still work with them, and that's a sacrifice you do have to make sometimes as the director to get that best quality content. And in the end of the day, as the director, do you truly want to make this video? Because if you're just doing it because you think, oh, this is what's successful, or this is what people want to see, do it for yourself. Again, you initially started the channel for yourself, and people will just genuinely find you and come along who have similar personalities and values as you do. The second one is to be the producer, and that's making sure that it's fun to watch and not just fun to do. And that is where I think I struggle a lot and always have with this channel, and I'm still not satisfied as where I am currently. lots of my videos, I basically go to a place and I have an experience, and then I come back and, like I'm doing to you now, I just talk about the experience. I'll show some videos, I'll show some photos, but more or less I'm just kind of talking about the experience. And instead, I want to be like, hey, come with me, we're going to go do this right now. My newest video on Antelope Canyon and Horseshoe Bend, I kind of did that. The video starts off with me in the elevator being like, hey guys, it's 5 a.m. and I'm currently heading to Antelope Canyon on a tour. And you got to see like the sunset on the way there. I put a couple stops in and I discussed the stops. So I want to get more of that, so it seems like you're on the adventure with me and you get a little bit of a taste of that experience right alongside me. And finally, being the distributor, if your idea and concept is the product, your title is the marketing. So that goes back to, you need to try to think of a couple different title names before you go out and film a video, because the idea and the concept and the video, like, that is your product. And on YouTube specifically, you need to stand out. People aren't just scrolling like they do on TikTok. So you need to have some reason for them to want to click on your video and get them into your channel. And that brings me to titles. There's a couple different things that they recommended we do with titles, and I'm actually really happy they shared this information with me, because I've always kind of struggled with trying to come up with the best titles. I've never wanted them to be too long. I didn't want them to be too short. So starting off, you should have one clear concept. What is a very simple way to describe what your video is about? Straightforward, what is it about? The title should be under 64 characters at most, but ideally you're going to want it to be under 50 videos, because if it is too long, it's going to crop it off a little bit, and then people aren't going to really know what your video is about, and then that concept is no longer really clear. The third is to attract the audience you want. Look at different people. For example, me being travel, look at other travel videos. What kind of titles are they sharing? Because little subtle things like all caps might scare somebody away, versus someone else sees a video that's in all caps and they might think it's like something that's intense or something, and then they want to watch it more. So you want to kind of look at that, and look at, if you've posted videos already, look at this analytics, the statistics behind it, and try to figure out exactly what kind of audience you want to attract. And last but not least, you want to write it in a new way. So if a lot of people are talking about, oh, we pranked the internet, we pranked the internet. Yes Theory didn't prank the internet when they posted their video about making a fake Justin Bieber photo. Instead, they used the word fooled. And this made them stand out from a list of videos saying pranked, 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 fooled, pranked, pranked, pranked. It automatically stands out to your different viewers, and they're more likely to click on it. And then we got our thumbnails. And similar thing. What kind of brand and audience are you trying to capture? Because for me, again, being travel videos, I really probably shouldn't post to like politics. I shouldn't try to get political people in here. It's a travel channel, not a politics channel. So what kind of brand and audience are you trying to attract? Again, you want a simple and clear composition. Oh my God, I can't talk. I apologize. So basically, you got to think. On a computer, the thumbnail might not look too bad. On a TV, it might not look too bad. But if you're scrolling on your phone, these thumbnails are going to be really small off to the side. So you want to make sure that it's simple and clear and people are able to see exactly what it's about, because if not, it's not going to catch their eye and they're just going to keep scrolling to other videos. And another way to hook them though is by the intentional use of colors, specifically brighter colors. By having brighter colors, if they're scrolling on their phone and all of a sudden they see a bright blue thumbnail, they're going to stop even for just a second and they're going to look at that thumbnail. And the other aspect is keywords. Don't just put the title of the video in the thumbnail again. They already know what that is. So maybe try to put something else in there that intrigues them and gets them interested. So last but not least, what are the best practices overall? Well, a clear subject. It's like a resume. People are going to look at it for a couple seconds and you want them to know exactly what your video is about. Attractive colors. They're going to be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of videos out there. You need them to stop even for a second. You want to hook them in, and bright colors can do this. A potential conflict insinuated. So if there's not a problem in your video, why do I want to watch it? It goes back to you want to make the video fun to watch, not just fun to create and fun to do. And last but not least, as I've mentioned multiple times already in this video, you want to pique people's curiosity. Oh, you went and did this? What? So it's like skydiving. So many people go skydiving, and my skydiving video honestly didn't do the greatest because of this. A lot of people go skydiving. What is special about your video? What makes it stand out? You want to have some kind of curiosity. So like for me, I have a fear of heights. So instead of I went skydiving as the title, maybe I should have put something in the title or the thumbnail about how I have a fear of heights, but now I'm going skydiving. That piques people's curiosity. Well, if you have a fear of heights, how did you do it? Stuff like that. So that was week 3 of the Yes Theory Bootcamp. I believe the video that was the session that was canceled on Thursday will be happening in 2 days, give or take. So yeah, I can't wait to see what that one's about because this video really kicked off. Obviously, we're at 18 minutes, so I learned a lot this week. And we're 3 weeks in, 10 days of Project 30. So we got to keep going strong. We're halfway through the boot camp. Here is to the next 3 weeks. And I hope you guys take care. And I hope to see you all on the next adventure.